overall, it's been pretty good. It was chaotic, I guess, in the sense of having having the whole team there for about 6 days, and then having 11 people leave, and then in that, knowing that that is potentially on the horizon for June and July, and so thinking about the trialists that we wanted to have come in to be able to either earn a spot with the team or to be able to be used as NTRs during that period, as opposed to just finding random people to come and fill spots. Rather have the ability to get to know them a little bit, have them know our system, and just be an easier transition for when that time period comes. So that was part of it, and it was I think everything in Florida was largely good. It was certainly nice to escape some of the colder weather and also being on turf when we were here. So being able to be on grass and then just having a very different vibe to the entire preseason. Part of the planning that goes into it is understanding that we had a longer season than most of the other teams, and there's going to be more pressure, but the number of people who are going into the national team and everything, there's just a lot more demand on everyone's body. So trying to be mindful of that and build a little bit more conservatively towards the end of the season so we can build a really good base as we go through. So from that standpoint, Casey was good. I think it allowed us to look at a lot of those things. It allowed us to build a bigger base for the people who are not in the national team picture right now. And then coming back here, getting into the new training center, having everyone together, it's been really nice since then. It's just it feels like the gang is all back together now. In terms of, we're changing the overall style a little bit, not a lot, but it does have physical ramifications in the sense of needing to prepare people for a little bit longer sprints, a little bit longer actions in general. And so how we build that up over, all of preseason, we knew that we were going to eat into Challenge Cup with some of that. And also just understanding that, whether it was luck or fate or whatever, we actually did a fairly good job of peaking at the right time last year. And so having that in mind as well, of being sharp for games now is good, but we ultimately want to be sharp once we get into the stretch run the most, so we can, carry momentum into the playoffs and be in a really good spot to defend the title. I mean, for one, we got Maddie Elwell, who's going to come in May. And then beyond that, I don't know that there would be many other adjustments. I think it's primarily, working with the league with one of our younger players that's in here right now to see if that's going to be a possibility or not. But other than that, I would say outside of those two, I would say the lineup is probably going to be set in this mode, knowing that Collins, Feist, DiBiase are all getting much closer to being able to partake in games, and even Aaliyah Martin, one of the rookies who came in, is coming back into full fitness after she had some stuff in February that she was dealing with. So yeah, I mean, getting everyone back and fully healthy, we're very happy with the roster. But yeah, I mean, I would say those two are the other ones that we're looking at. She's been a really dynamic player, and I think she's a different. She's got a different profile than all of our other strikers, in that, she wants to be able to drive at people on the dribble, but is extremely, I guess, measured in that sense. Like she's very sensible in how she tries to set up defenders. But she's also very good at looking for balls in behind and wanting to be a threat behind the defense, which we have, with Trin and Tara and Hachi. But she offers just a little bit of a different personality in there. And so, it was huge for her when she scored her first goal in training and everyone was celebrating with her and for her. And so we're just trying to continue to push that forward and keep growing her confidence. And so really, it's, for Challenge Cup for her, it's going to be getting game minutes, getting used to the level of the league in a, scenario where the other team is actually going after you. And then, trying to continue to progress her from there. Those are the big goals for her right now. I think it just creates even more competition all across the board. All of them, I think the beauty of the system that we're trying to put in place for this year is that midfielders can play as strikers. Strikers are going to be asked at times to drop in and get the ball like midfielders. So there's a lot of ability to interchange players, and how we can approach and attack games can vary wildly based off of the personnel we utilize at that point in time. So if we were to start 6 midfielders instead of 3 midfielders and 3 strikers, we just have more ability to control the game and be a little bit more, I guess, thoughtful about the moments we chose to try and break the other team down. Whereas at the same time, we could play with 5 strikers and we could really throw curveballs at people from that sense. So it's knowing that, one, we've got a crop of very talented midfielders, a crop of very talented strikers, but also we have the ability now to have legitimate competition in every single position on the field, from strikers all the way through to goalkeepers. We feel, very, very good in every single position. And that, I think, is only going to make everyone stronger. But it also means that as we go through, we can rotate some people. We can make sure that people who are doing double duty with the national team are able to come back in and get recovered from some of those camps and weeks and things, and not feel as much pressure to be in every single game. So it could be a situation where they come in and get 30 minutes as opposed to 60 or 90. So there's a lot of different things, but we also have a lot of games, thrown in the ICC this year, as well as the Challenge Cup. There's a lot of different things. And so trying to manage everyone in that sense was certainly part of it, and why we felt like we could keep everyone in this way and still be able to keep them happy.